2006 Chrysler PT Cruiser. Today we're going to be doing the front struts. Let's get to it. Alright, the first thing we're going to do to remove our front struts is we're going to unbolt them from the top. They're held on with three 13mm nuts. And we can go ahead and lift this vehicle up and start working it from the bottom. And with the wheel removed, we can see our two lower connecting nuts right here. Now normally your brake line should be connected to the strut right here, but I'm guessing this is an aftermarket strut, and when it was reinstalled they didn't do it properly, but that's okay. I might be wrong about that. It just looks like there's supposed to be something there for the brake line to connect to, and for whatever reason these are different size nuts and the bolts in them are also different sizes. The top one is a 19 and the bottom one is a 21. Again, I don't know if that's how it's going to be for everybody's, but that's what it's looking like for me. And this thing's free spinning, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my adjustable wrench, put it on the bolt head on the back just to hold that in place, and we'll go ahead and put this nut back on here, and we're going to put that down until the head of the bolt is flush with the nut. We're going to give it just a couple taps with a large hammer, start forcing that bolt out the back. There we go. So if you look at this bolt, the reason why they're different sizes is that this was replaced with a camber adjusting bolt, and this allows you to adjust the camber usually 1.5 degrees, positive or negative. Another thing you need to be very careful of is when you remove this last bolt, you don't want your CV axle to get pulled out of its joint way down there by the transmission. You want to keep that pressure pushed in like this. Because if you let this thing fall outwards, if you let the steering knuckle fall outwards, it's going to pull that joint out, and sometimes you can't get those joints back in and you'll end up having to replace the CV axle. Go ahead and put our nut back under our bolts so we're less likely to lose them. And pull the strut out. Go ahead and put a zip tie right there, just enough to hold the weight so it doesn't pull that CV axle joint. And once we get the new strut lined up, we can go ahead, snap that zip tie, and begin the installation. Alright, we got our new strut assembly ready to go. Go ahead and take these nuts that come preloaded off. Looks like this one was preloaded. Screwed on too tight. And we'll get this thing ready to install. Alright, our next step is we're going to go ahead and feed this up through the holes in the fenders. There it goes. got to kind of play with it for a little bit. And I'm going to reach up. I'm just going to start one of those nuts by hand. Just a couple turns so it'll support the weight. And we can go ahead and start installing the bottom bolts. All right, let's go ahead and start reinstalling these lower bolts. And then right here you can just push that in until it lines up for the top bolt. And let's go ahead and start our upper bolt. Make sure those are knocked all the way in. And go ahead and start tightening this down. And back up top side, we can go ahead and start the other two nuts. Just a couple turns by hand. It looks like this one isn't pushed up enough, so what we're gonna do is we'll go ahead and start by putting this nut down. And that's gonna raise the whole strut up, exposing these threads, and we can put that nut on now. And these nuts are self-locking, the new ones that came with my strut. I don't know if yours will, but just calling out information as it comes in. And that's pretty much all there is to it. One thing to take note on is that if you get some cheap struts, sometimes the nut right here will be loose when you get it, and you might need to put that nut down a little bit tighter, or else you'll have thumping whenever you hit a bump. So make sure you check that, maybe take it for a test drive, and if you hear a thumping, check that nut, make sure it's down nice and tight, and if not, you know, you're probably good to go. That's pretty much all there is to replacing the struts on one of these vehicles. If you'd like to see another video on one of these vehicles, go ahead and check out that one next. I made that one just for you. But other than that, if this video helped you out, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. See y'all next time.